I am making my famous rolls that everybody loves. So let's get down and dirty. First off, you're going to start with 3 3/4 cup of flour. We're going to put in 1/4 cup of sugar. Like that. Next, we're going to put in 1 tablespoon of rapid rise yeast or instant, and then 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Alright, and then we're just going to let that mix a little bit. I use my dough hook just because I don't want to get two paddles dirty, and it's not a big deal that it's not super mixed up right now. You just want to mix it up enough to get the sugar and the yeast distributed where it's not in one spot. So we're going to let that go for just a second, and we're going to preheat the oven to 180. And that looks good, so we're going to turn that off. Next, we're going to combine all of our wet ingredients. So you want 3/4 cup of cool water, 2/3 cup milk. Let's see, 2/3 is on the other side. Add that to the water. And then you want 4 tablespoons of butter, and you want to kind of slice it up so that it'll melt easier. There's that. So you can cut it up into tablespoons or however small or big you want. Okay, and that's all for that. And you're going to put it in the microwave until it reaches about 115 degrees. It takes about a minute or a minute and a half, depending on your microwave. Put that in there. And I'm going to run it for a minute right now. Okay, and we're at 115. That worked out good. And it's not a huge deal if not all of your butter is melted, because it's soft enough that it will just incorporate right in. Put that away for now. And now we are going to add 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice, which typically you don't put in like a roll recipe or a bread recipe. That usually goes in like a banana bread recipe if you need sour milk or something like that. But the lemon juice adds kind of a cool, lemon juice adds a nice tangy flavor, I guess you could say. There's a teaspoon. And a half. Alright. Pretty sticky. It's still sticking in the bottom, And if we try and pull it up, it is sticky to the touch. So we're going to measure out another 1/4 cup flour and sprinkle a little bit in. And mix that in. You'll notice now that the bowl's a little bit more clean, but it's still pretty sticky. So we'll still take that 1/4 cup we measured out, sprinkle in a little bit more, and you want to go until you want to mix it for about 4 minutes or until it's smooth, and you want it elastic, but you don't want it. You still want it a little bit sticky but manageable. Feels good. So you've got a little bit of stickiness to the bowl, but it comes right off. That is what we're looking for. Smooth, just a little bit sticky, and it's still really elastic. If it's kind of hard to manage, you probably put too much flour in. So that's why you just add a little bit at a time until you reach the texture that you want. So take this off. We're just going to let the dough sit for about 5 minutes just to rest, because then it's easier to handle. And then we will make some rolls. Okay, so I've got the dough here, which looks awesome, and a jelly roll pan. Usually I do these in a 9x13 glass, but I want the rolls to have a little bit more room to rise, and I want them to rise a little bit longer, so they're a little bit bigger, because usually this recipe makes about 15 rolls, but I want a little bit more rolls, so I'm going to make the mounds smaller, but I'm going to let them rise longer. So let's get to forming. Just pinch off however big you want them to start out with, because remember, they're going to rise. I always like put it in my hand. Yeah, that's about right. So kind of make open an O with your hand, and then you're going to stick your dough ball and poke it through, and then kind of pinch it with your fingers. Ta-da! You have a dough ball. Alright, so all of our rolls are formed, and before we put them in the 180-degree oven, I want to either get some water and rub the tops of the rolls so that they don't dry out, or I learned that a spray bottle works just as well, and it's a little bit faster. So I'm going to make sure that, there you go. Okay, that looks good. They feel pretty moist. So we will go ahead. I'm going to turn on the oven light. We're going to put these bad boys in the oven to rise. So once you put them in, close the door, and then wait just a minute and turn your oven off. You can leave the oven light on. So there they are. I'm going to check them in about 30 minutes or 45 minutes and see how they are. And they're looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and gently take them out. Okay, our oven is up to heat at 375 degrees. Pop these bad boys in. And we're going to set the timer for 14 minutes.